Apollon consulted Gustave about a safe box that she could use to protect her money at Madame Pleasant's suggestion. He looked her up and down again, in the same inappropriate way, without the respect accustomed to ladies. He knew the urban aspect of all of them, wearing as always the only one dark wool coat that she had had for years and that she brought from Paris. He knew instantly what kind of woman Apollon was. A French woman with ambitions like those empowered in their Parisian lands. Those who know they are strong and become stronger when they are far from the domestic eyes that inhibit them. He immediately saw an opportunity and invited her to visit the elegant office in his new business. She agreed and went to the business alone the next day, decided from the beginning not to tell Louis. When she arrived and looked inside that world, she was impressed by so much cleanliness and elegance. He brought to her the days in Paris, in that bar in the village of Bercy. She couldn't contain herself and thought this was the life she deserved. 2 French women were there, on the stairs, elegant and flirtatious. She didn't know they were French nationals. She didn't get close enough to greet them. Gustave received her and immediately drove her to the office on the 2nd floor. He showed her the Tilton and McFarlane safe hidden behind the desk. He quickly gave him a slight demonstration of the combination of disc and lever. Apollon pulled the door, wanted to check security, didn't open, because what was inside sucked more forcefully. Gustave did it for her. Apollon peeked out and saw nothing inside. She didn't notice the thing that was coming in, that which had shown inside when it got full, nor how it vomited what just devoured because it didn't like the taste. And, unaware of everything, Apollon accepted the offer. Gustave, to seal the agreement, filled 2 small glasses with liquor. He took his glass closer to him, said, "Hip hip," to toast, raised his glass, and began drinking before Apollon. She barely touched the liquor with her lips. Apollon would have thought Gustave was unbearable if she had met him in some Paris bar. He was conceited in his behavior, like that of someone who, having traveled so much, believes to know everything. But that behavior appealed to her for the first time. When she arrived in America, she thought that she would finally know the world and stop being an ignorant woman. She felt it was not like that when she heard Gustave talking. He didn't talk like her father's customers in the bar in the village of Bercy. He spoke with a different confidence. She didn't know that he spoke, knowing how to seduce her with lies. "You've forgotten the manners of the good places in your native Paris, haven't you? You must feel very lonely when you eat at home," Gustave asked with eyes of sexual provocation. He knew Apollon was not a woman from a vulgar class. "A woman like me is alone because she wants to. I've never had that problem. Besides, when I need company, it's enough for me to be with Louis." Apollon knew how to talk to Gustave. He was not the same as the men in that bar in the village of Bercy. But in the end, he was a man and no more. "Louis. It's true. I forgot about him," Gustave answered with a lie. Apollon saw a back room in the background. It had the functions of a very well-equipped small bathroom. Her eyes lit up at the prospect of taking a hot bath, as in her days in Paris. Hot water was not very easy to procure at the bath, and that annoyed her a lot. Although she didn't tell Louis, she was tired of hearing fanfare about a life that wasn't her own. Gustave understood that Apollon was not like the women he paid. Those women who came from Europe and were satisfied with what he offered. Apollon was one of those who were looking for the opportunity to be themselves, away from prejudice in these new lands. Dressing in those long blue miner's pants. It was not to be masculine, but strong and determined with their desires. Maybe having a man's job and showing how big they were, alone and on their own. Even sleeping they want to, and playing with his feelings. Apollon wasn't like the women Gustave frequented, and she still wasn't as big as she could be. But only one thing was missing. That an opportunity would come to her. "I want you to leave your chores with Madame Pleasant and come and work for me. Even though you're not very young anymore, You could make up to $200 on a good night. Apollon bit the surprise with her teeth to hide it from Gustav. She didn't want his naivety to show in her mouth. Gustav felt that she did not know the taste. Just sit at the tables and talk to customers. That's all. Just like the women you saw on the stairs. It's a hostess job. What Americans call entertainers. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what women come to San Francisco for. But not all of them are as beautiful as you. That's why they end up on the street. She felt flushed, even though she hadn't drunk yet. The taste of liquor was on the surface of the lips. And she reliably answered no before her lips betrayed her by intoxication. She had no idea what it was like to make so much money. She left her savings with Gustav and left. As she passed closer to the women on the stairs, she'd never be the same as them. But she didn't know if she was referring to money or reputation.